Hey, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I am Patrice Malloy. I am the Affluent CFO. I'm also known as the AI Alchemist, and I am here to talk to you today about something called vibe coding. Thank you so much for being here with me. It took me a little bit of time just to get online, but we are here. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it work. We're going to talk about vibe coding. I'm going to show you what vibe coding is. We're going to talk about how you can build something incredible. So, a monetizable asset in under 60 minutes. That's what we're going to be doing today. And then also how you can continue working with me if this is something that you desire to do, if it's something that you have been wanting to learn, all the things. So, give me a few minutes as I pull up my presentation and we're going to go through this. Because the deal is, we need to let you know how this all came about, what it means, because it doesn't make sense for us to do these grandiose types of projects if we don't understand the foundations or the basics of what's going on. Okay. So that is why we are going to talk about this. We are going to get this started, and I want to make sure that I have everyone's attention and you're able to see my presentation. All right. So I need for y'all to let me know. Let's see. I got stuck, y'all. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Today's one of those days, y'all, but that's okay. It's okay. All right. Now, hopefully, y'all will be able to see this now. Okay. It's coming, y'all. Oh, thank you for being patient with me. Technology is moving slower than expected today. Good grief, y'all. Anyway, while we're waiting for this to load, who here is new to vibe coding? Drop it in the chat. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what this is meaning to you. Why did you decide to show up here and build with me? Like, what is it? I'd love to learn about you and why. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's a vibe. Welcome to the Vibe Coding Accelerator, where we're going to turn your idea into a working AI powered product in 60 minutes or less. Okay, in the next 60 minutes, you will build something real. You will turn an idea into a working AI powered product using the Vibe Coding. You will not watch. I'm asking for y'all to say this with me. You will not just watch, but you will also build. I want you to be building with me while we're doing this. This is in real time. You need to be able to understand what's happening, and you need to be able to make sure that you can follow along so that you can do this on your own or work with somebody else. I think you should teach somebody else how to do this as well once you've gotten it down and once you've gotten the basics kind of mastered. Okay. So, what you're going to walk away with is a working AI powered product, a repeatable PRD, which stands for Product Requirements Document Framework you can use forever, proof that you can build without writing code, and then a clear next action series of steps for the next 48 hours. Alrighty. All right. Here are three truths that change everything. So, something you may not have known before today. You do not need to know how to code. You do need to know what the problem is that you solve. And then you need to know that AI builds what you explain clearly. I don't know if you've ever heard the term garbage in, garbage out, but if you are not giving artificial intelligence or your LLM, your large language model, or whatever it is that you're using, clear instructions or prompts, you're not going to get a good product. So we need to make sure that we understand the importance of prompting before we even get into this. All right. Your first 60 seconds of building is starting right now. So, what I'd love for you to do is just write down one problem that you already help people solve. Jog your memory, think about what it is that you're phenomenal at, think about what people tell you you're really good at, think about all of these things, and then write that down because your answer is going to help us build the foundation around what we're going to build. Okay. Now, a couple of rules. There is no ideation spiraling. We are not overthinking right now, just whatever comes to your mind first, because you can always build something new. All right. So that's the first thing. We're not overthinking. And I just want you to write what you already know. Again, this is your foundation, and everything that we build today starts here with the foundational steps. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to think about what it is that you do, and then we're going to move on to the next session. Okay, how we feeling? We good? We good? All right, let's move on. Okay, what is vibe coding? Vibe coding is essentially building software by describing the outcomes of what you want it to do as opposed to writing code. So, I don't know if you have a tech background. I am a fintech kind of gal. I used to build financial systems and softwares and platforms for various corporations and federal agencies. So, this was new. Excuse me, this was not new to me. So, I understood how to do some coding, developing all the things, but I was not an actual coder or developer. I needed to make sure I understood the basics and the foundation so that when I was running projects, I was able to make sure that we were doing what we were supposed to do and that everything made sense. All right. So, again, vibe coding is building software by describing your outcomes instead of actually writing the code. The old way of building was learning the language like Java, C++, HTML, JSON, um, all the things. And now we don't have to do that. It was writing thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lines of code. It was debugging for an hour because if there was one little incorrect character that was in there, your whole system would crash. And then you'd have to dig through all the lines of code to figure out what it was. And it would take months, maybe even years to launch. I've worked on projects that took years to launch, okay, depending on the various phases. Now, with vibe coding, all you have to do is describe the outcome, and AI builds it for you. Then, what you need to do is refine and direct the artificial intelligence tool or the agent to continue making changes that you see necessary to get it to where you want it to be. And then you launch it. All right. So, again, you're not coding, but you are directing the agent to help you build something that you desire to build. All righty. There are two tools that we're going to be talking about today, and these are the only ones, quite honestly, as beginners that you need to know. The first one is called Lovable. It's lovable.dev. If you want to go and try it out, I recommend you do that. I highly encourage you to open it up, to sign up, to learn what you need to do in order to start working these magical activities. And then after this, go back to it. Finish building. I'd love to learn what you made during our time together. Okay, so back to Lovable. Lovable turns your description into a working product. It handles the technical complexity, so you don't have to worry about, like I said, being a developer or understanding lines of code or being a techie, and you have a focus on one outcome. Okay. So with your vibe coding and when you're starting these things, you really want to focus on something that is a minimum viable product. Okay. We're not taking over the world right now. We're not building a multi level, multi layered enterprise architecture piece of software. We're building something that we can, what we call ship today. So, say for instance, you wanted to build a web page that invited you to a vibe coding masterclass or a vibe coding boot camp, which is what I did. So, I'm going to show that to you. Then you need to understand what you want it to look like, who it is that you want this to appeal to, the dates, the times, the formatting, the font, the color palette, your brand voice, all the things. But you can do this by creating a product requirements document, like I talked about in the opening, and you feed it into the artificial intelligence agent, and then they build it for you. It is magical. All right. And then Replit is the other one. Replit is really good for building really close to being 100% done applications. So with the vibe coding, it'll get you about 80, 85% there, but you do have to do some work to it. Okay. Before you get it to be an actual monetizable, um, not a beta program, but something that can be used, something that people can pay you for, etc. Okay? Because again, this is the first phase, and we want to make sure that we're doing the basics to get that first viable product out. Okay? So Replit is going to help you do that. Replit helps you host your creation, which is something as well too. So some of these other applications, you have to go through different sites, different portals, different software to host your application. So you have to go you can't have everything in one space. So with Lovable, you can, which is why I love it. And with Replit, you can as well. It makes it accessible to the world and there's no server setup required. So again, very low tech to no tech, and it's very easy for us to be able to run with, to be honest. Okie dokie. Now here's your 7-minute product requirements document. If this part is clear, the build will be easy. Now, what is a product requirement document? Now, I want you to forget all the corporate jargon because, again, this is a tech word. And instead, I want you to think about what are the building instructions for my app that I want to share. Okay, okay, let me put this up for you so you guys can see everything. All right, so what you do is you speak to it and then you build. So, what I'd love for you to do is just get ready to create this requirements document. We're going to go over a couple of items that you need to put into it to make sure that it makes sense, to make sure that it is meaty and robust enough, but not too robust to be able to get your minimum viable product, and also to make sure that you understand how to use it and leverage it in the future. Okay. And we're wondering why 7 minutes because clarity beats complexity. And if you can't explain it without 7 minutes of time or less, you're overcomplicating it. Okay, okay. Now, check this out. Every field matters. So, we're going to build that product requirements document, like I mentioned. What you need to do is come up with these 7 inputs. So, 7 inputs, 7 minutes. This is not a uh, analytical exercise. It is what comes to the top of your mind the quickest. Okay. Again, we want to think about the things that we are doing, things that we have expertise in, experience in, things that are so easy for you that you could do them in your sleep. Okay. And so the first thing you're going to think about is what is the product name? So you want to come up with one sentence that captures the outcome. So for instance, it's a vibe. It's a vibe coding bootcamp accelerator. That's what I came up with for my product name. When you talk about the users, you want to think, who is this for? And again, you very much want to be specific. You don't want this for everybody and anybody. You want it to be for a specific audience because you want those people to convert into potential buyers of your product. Okay. Number three is the problem. What hurts right now and what's the pain point? What is something that your ideal avatar is dealing with? What is something that maybe you've dealt with and you had a problem and you decided that you wanted to create something that would resolve that problem or would relieve that pain? Number four is the outcome. What's going to change after using this application? What is the transformation that's going to happen? You need to have these things in your mind. They need to be clear as day. Because again, if you don't have a good idea of what you want it to look like, when you feed it into the agent, it doesn't make sense. It's not going to come out the way you designed it. It just isn't. You have to be very clear, very explicit. And that's why we talk about prompting and how it is so important to understand from the very jump. Okay. So I want to take a little second, make sure that you guys are catching up with me. I don't want to leave anybody behind. Nobody left behind in this boot camp or ever, okay? Number 5 is going to be our input. So what does the user provide and what information do they give? So again, for your problem, what is it that they desire? What is it that they need? Are there tools that they have to have in order to get the result that you are going to deliver to them? Is it partnering with you? Is it a done for you or done with you type of product? Is it a do it yourself type of product? You need to understand which one that is and then again, be able to build your requirements around that. Number 6 is our output. What does the app give back? Meaning, what do the users receive? So, for the bootcamp that I talked about, they received an opportunity to register for the bootcamp, to be here with me learning about vibe coding. If you created something else, say for instance, a wellness app for mompreneurs, okay? What is it that they need? They need to get their time back, they need to make more money or save money, and they need to be able to do what they desire to do without guilt, burnout, or overwhelm. And ask me how I know, right? Because I'm a mom, I am an entrepreneur, I'm a CEO, and there are lots of moving parts and pieces that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And if I could build something that would take away half of the things on my plate, do you know I would spend as much money as I possibly could to get that into my hands? So again, you need to think about what is it going to do? Who is it going to help? What problem is it going to solve? And then the last thing is our success today. So, what does working mean in 60 minutes? Working means, again, it is a viable product. It is able to be launched. You're able to use the actual features or the functionality that you put in your product requirements document. You were able to say, hey, so and so, I'd love for you to test this out. And they're able to actually walk through the application and they're able to see what it is that you expected for them to see. That is what working means. Okay. I'm not saying that it has to be ready for production or shipping to mass, populations right now or today or even tomorrow, but you do want to make sure that you are able to use it. Okay. And sometimes it takes us a little bit longer. So your first vibe coding experience is probably going to take you 3 to 4 to 5 hours, depending on what you're building, depending on your comfort level with artificial intelligence, with technology, all the things. So don't beat yourself up if you can't do this within 60 minutes. but I can guarantee that you can create something within 60 minutes. Okay? So that is what we're going to do with our product requirements document. Again, that's the build. That's how we're going to get everything that we desire to have into our particular application. Alrighty, so here's what a strong product requirements document looks like. Now, here's what I'm calling the wellness assessment tool. My users are health coaches working with busy professionals. The problem, clients don't know where to start with their wellness journey. The outcome, clients get a personalized starting point and feel confident about the next steps of their health and wellness journey. Inputs, 5 questions about sleep, stress, nutrition, movement, and goals. So I want to understand everything about them. How do they sleep? Do they sleep at all? Is it interrupted? Are they getting enough? Are they sleeping too much? What is their level of stress? Are they not stressed at all? Are they one of those lucky people that has no stress and lets everything roll off their back? Are they highly stressed? Do they deal with anxiety, depression, mood disorders, hormonal imbalances? What does their nutrition look like? Are they eating, you know, 3 meals a day? Are they not eating at all? Are they eating 1 meal a day? Are they eating heavily fried foods, when they're not supposed to? Are they eating lots of junk food before they go to bed? So you really need to understand their nutrition and how that works with them in their own particular body and their goals. Movement. Do they work out during the day? What is it that they're doing? Are they doing walking? Are they doing, high intensity interval training? Are they running? Are they doing kickboxing? Are they doing Pilates? You need to understand what this is. And then their goals. What is it that they desire to achieve? Are they looking to lose weight? Are they looking to feel better? Are they looking to sleep better? Are they looking to fit into their clothes better? So it's not necessarily a weight goal, but it is a goal of feeling a certain way when they put on their clothes. Or maybe they want to get into something that they couldn't wear, the year before. So you need to understand what these things are. The output is going to be a personalized wellness score with 3 specific action items. So the action items are going to tell them what they need to do in those 5 areas that we talked about: sleep, stress, nutrition, movement, goals, etc. Okay. And the success for today, meaning my minimal viable product or what is working, is going to be a complete assessment that allows them to receive the recommendations that I have built out for them. Okay. So that's what a product requirements document looks like. And of course, it's not just going to be these 5 little pieces, it's going to be a little bit more robust. You're going to have to dive a little bit deeper into it and really give the agent the information that you want for it to spit out essentially. And you want to make sure that you understand and have a clear vision of how you want it to look, because that's a very important piece too. You are training it, you're teaching it, you're telling it what you want it to do, and you have to be very explicit. So if you have confusion, imagine what the agent is going to feel. Okay? So I just want you to think about that. All right. Now, here's where the building together starts. So, I want you to generate an application. So, what you're going to do is, like I said, build that product requirements document. If you have those 5 points or those 7 points, excuse me, for the outcomes, I want you to put that into Lovable. Okay. Now, I created a document for this as well, and I want to share that with you. I want to make sure I'm able to actually share it. Let's see if I can do this without messing everything up. So give me just a sec, if you would, if you would, if you would. Okay. Mhm. And I appreciate y'all's patience. All right. I'm about to show you my position to profit. Okay. This was a product requirements document that I created for my site, and I will show you the site as well after this. And actually, let me see. If I click here, no, I have to share the screen. So I'll show that to you guys afterwards. So anyway, position to profit. Here's my 7-minute product requirements document. You're going to use this complete PRD to build your app in Lovable, and you're going to copy and paste the entire block below. So as you can see here, it's called the position to profit accelerator. This is who my user is. They are mompreneurs, mom entrepreneurs who are building service-based or coaching businesses while raising families. They are ambitious, they are time starved, and they want to grow their income without sacrificing presence with their kids, family, friends, all the things. What's the problem that we solve? Mompreneurs are stuck in the hustle trap, working long hours, saying yes to everything, and still not seeing the profit they deserve. They feel overwhelmed, burned out, and guilty because they're either working when they should be with their kids or with their kids when they feel like they should be working. Anybody familiar with that? Raise of hands. Yes, no. All right. They don't have a clear system to identify what actually moves the needle in their businesses. The outcome. After using this app, mompreneurs will have a crystal clear clarity on their highest leverage AI activities, the 20% of action that drives 80% of their results. They will feel confident saying no to low value tasks, empowered to charge premium prices, and free from the guilt of not doing enough. They will multiply their impact and expand influence without the overwhelm. How does that sound? All right, so that's our outcome. Our inputs. All right, so these will have five strategic questions. Number one is our revenue streams. What are your current ways of making money? Example, is it one on one coaching? Is it courses? Is it services? Is it group coaching? We're going to do a time audit. Where do you spend most of your working hours right now? Is it doing administrative activities, which is not something that's moving the needle in your business? Is it sales calls? Because that's what we need to actually get that revenue goal that you're looking to achieve. Is it what we call the Dream 1000 in my coaching program? Is it you going out and identifying people who are going to be prospective leads? Is it somebody that you think you can work with, partner with, or collaborate with so that you can potentially borrow other people's audiences? Is it a in-person event that you're designing to throw at some point in time? What is it? What is it that you're spending most of your time doing right now? Is it actual client work? Because that could be the actual work that's taking up most of your time, which makes it hard to do the other things like sales and going out and meeting people and connecting and networking and understanding what it is that they need support with. All right. Number three is going to be energy drains. What tasks leave you feeling exhausted or resentful? I think this is such an important question because I think a lot of times we do things that we do not desire to do just because we feel like we have to do them. Just because it's, part of the monotony of all the things, it's, what we're expected to do. And I think that we need to really be mindful of that because it drains your energy and it makes us resentful. And it's hard to show up at your best self if you're feeling that way. So I want you to be very specific and explicit about that. What are your profit peaks? So, what activities have generated the most revenue for you in the last 90 days? Is it going to be your boot camps? Is it going to be an accelerator? Is it going to be a one on one coaching call that you have? Is it going to be a strategic CEO hour that you've decided to provide for people who are looking for your services? You must figure that out, okay? Because that's what's going to help us drive our next set of tasks. And then your dream week. If you could only work 15 hours a week, what would you focus on? Personally, I focus on wellness, self care, or what I call wealth care when you put those two together. Sharpening my marketing skills and my sales strategies. I will spend more time with my family. I will have more fun. Okay. Because y'all know that building a business is very challenging. So that's what I would do. I would opt to have more fun and opt to spend more time with people that I enjoyed being with, doing things that I love, going out and eating good food, traveling, having trips, drinking more coffee, all the things that I'm unable to do right now are because I'm doing client work or I'm having meetings or all the things. So just like you guys, I'm working on this as well. All right. So now we're going to move to the output. So the app is going to generate a personalized profit positioning report. And that report is going to include the following: your profit priority score. This is the ranking of your current activities by revenue impact, your stop doing list. So this is what you're going to stop doing because it's not making you any money. So these are three specific tasks to delegate, automate, or eliminate. Remember, we always want to be thinking about this. Always be thinking about what we can automate, delegate, or eliminate because we do not have time to waste time. Let me say that one more time. We do not have time to waste time. Time is our most valued asset and it is not renewable. Okay. So we need to make sure that we're using it to the best of our ability and to make impact in this world and for our families. All right. Number three is going to be your double down list. So we need to have two high leverage activities to focus on this week. What are you going to do to reach that revenue goal? What are you going to do to reach that sales goal, to reach that scheduling goal for getting people on your calendar to talk to them about programs that you have or following up with them, because you've already had conversations and they're a warm lead. What is it that you're going to do? It's also going to generate your guilt-free boundary script. So it's a ready-to-use phrase for saying no without apology. For whatever reason, it's hard for us, especially women, to say no. Not for me, especially. You can ask my kids, but when it comes to certain things, it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, and I want to disappoint them, and I want to let them down. I want to make sure I'm being a good steward of my skills and the talents and abilities, all the things. So there's always something that we think about that's going to make us say, okay, should I have said yes? Or should I have said no? All right. And then finally, it's going to be your 15-hour week blueprint. We do not want to be working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, especially for half the pay that we got when we were in corporate or we were working somewhere else. That is not part of our ministry, and that is not what I want for you. Okay. So we're going to create a suggested weekly schedule that protects family time while maximizing profit. Ladies and gentlemen, it is so important that we do that. I think we forget a lot of times as entrepreneurs, as corporate change makers, as people who are doing, side gigs and our 1099 workers and all the things, we forget that we need to set aside time for ourselves. We still have to be healthy because if we're not, we can't show up the way that we need to, which means that we can't make the sales that we need to, which means we don't make the revenue that we need to, which means we don't get to pay the bills that we need to. So it is a vicious cycle. So I want you to be very, very aware, cognizant, and put this at the top of your priority list that you need to create a schedule that has boundaries. Okay. And then number 7, our success for today. So a mompreneur can complete the 5-question assessment in under 3 minutes and immediately received a personalized profit positioning report. So she walks away knowing exactly what to focus on this week and what to stop doing without guilt. So that is the whole point of this. So this is what my minimum viable product is going to be. And finally, here's our full prompt. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you want this. I can copy and paste this and give it to you later on. Let me see, actually. I'll give that to you in a prompt later on. But here's the prompt: build me an app called Position to Profit Accelerator. The user is a mompreneur, a mom running a service based or coaching business while raising a family. She is ambitious but overwhelmed, and she wants to grow her income without burning out or feeling guilty about time away from her kids. The problem: she's stuck in the hustle trap. She works long hours, says yes to everything, and still doesn't see the profit she deserves. She doesn't know what activities actually move the needle. Has anybody else experienced that problem before? Because I know I have at some point. But here's the outcome. After using this application, she will have crystal clear clarity on her highest leverage activities. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we always want to leverage our tools, our tech, and our techniques. Okay? So here's the thing. Again, she will know what to focus on, what to stop doing, and how to structure her week to protect family time while maximizing her profit, which we mentioned in our PRD. The app asks 5 questions. Again, what are your revenue streams? Where do you spend most of your working hours? What tasks drain your energy? What activities generate the most revenue in the last 90 days? And then if you could only work 15 hours a week, what would you focus on? So those were the prompts that we had. That was part of our product requirements document in the prior page as well. The app outputs a personalized profit positioning report with a priority score, ranking your activities by revenue impact, a stop doing list with 3 tasks to delegate, automate, or eliminate, and then a double down list with 2 high leverage activities to focus on this week, a guilt free boundary script for saying no without apologies, and then a 15-hour a week blueprint with a suggested schedule. So that's what's going to happen. So my success for today is that the user completes the assessment in under 3 minutes and receives her personalized report immediately. I want you to make it visually clean, warm, and empowering. Use a color palette of soft gold, deep plum, and cream. The tone should be supportive, confident, and action oriented. Okay, so that's our product requirements document. Again, very simple and answer the 7 questions that we talked about, and that's what we're going to leverage to build this. Now, pro tip: if you finish early, I want you to simplify. Do not add anything else to this because then it's going to get murky and muddy and complex, and then the agent is just going to spin out, and we don't want that. Okay, so again, we want to make sure that we keep it as simple as possible. This is about clarity, not complexity. Okay, so what I would like to do now is actually build something with you. So we're going to take this product requirements document and we are going to build because that's how we roll. And let me see. Actually, no, move that. So give me 1 second. Again, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna screen share. And I need to make sure that I can see. So please let me know, someone, if you're able to see my screen. For whatever reason, she's not allowing me to be great. I think maybe I need to stop my presentation first. Oh, come on, y'all. It's freezing on me. It's freezing on me. Okay. Here's what we'll do instead. You gotta love tech, y'all. You gotta. Let me go back to my presentation. Let me put that up there. All right, if y'all could just give me a sec. I don't know why it's not letting me share. This would happen while I'm on live, right? Okay, I'm having a couple of technical difficulties here trying to share my screen. All right, thank you for bearing with me, y'all. We did it. Lord have mercy. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Okay. Now I said we're going to build together. We're going to generate the app. So if you have created your product requirements document, you're going to paste it into Lovable, like we just talked about, and you're going to generate the application. After that, what we're going to work on is customizing and refining. So we're going to rename fields, adjust the prompt language, and clarify output if that's required. And then what we're going to do is run, test, and celebrate it. So we're going to run it, test it to make sure what we decided that we wanted it to do is actually happening. And then we're going to celebrate because, yay, we built something in under 60 minutes. That is viable, it is monetizable, and it's something that somebody can use, something that's going to be beneficial for our clients, our customers. Okay. So now let me see if this is going to allow me to share this real quick. I'm trying. I'm really trying to share this so y'all can see this vibe coding. Excellence. Vibe coding excellence. Okay. Now, let's move this out. I'm gonna place it with my screen share. Okay, y'all, for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to share my screen. If somebody could let me know if they are able to see or not, that would be phenomenal. Because from my end, I am unable to see it. Okay, so it looks like we're still sharing the presentation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. We're not able to see what's going on. Oh boy, in the background. So we'll continue with our presentation. So once you get that done, you're going to actually put it into Lovable, and you're going to make sure that it's working for you. Okay. All right. Then you're going to generate your app. So here's what we're going to do. Again, we're going to open Lovable. We're going to paste that completed product requirements document in it, and you're literally going to click send or enter. You're going to be able to do what you need to do to actually build this app. Alrighty, so what you'll see the user interface, the UI, which is what users will see. You'll see the logic, how it processes information. And then you'll also see the output, what the users receive. So your first product is being born right now as we speak. Okie dokie. So if someone is doing it, I'd love for you to let me know what that looks like in the chat. And I'm going to keep working on this, y'all. I really want you to be able to see what happens in Lovable. Let me see if I move this out of the way. Let me remove that and let me try sharing my screen again. Alrighty. All right, y'all. I promise I tried. Okay. I think what we'll have to do is another meeting or another boot camp where we can actually see the workings of it because I want you to really, really see this. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm unable to share my screen. It's super annoying. Okay, we're going to continue with our slideshow. And then we'll do this again, y'all, because I want you to see this. Like, it's non-negotiable. Okay. Now after you've put it into Lovable, you're going to make it yours. So what we're going to do is rename any fields to match your brain voice. You're going to adjust the prompt language to sound like you, and then you're going to make the output clearer and more actionable. Okay. We want to make sure that that's what we're doing. And I'm not coding. Remember this. Say this to yourself. I'm not coding. I'm directing. The AI is your builder, and you are the visionary. So you need to make sure that you're acting as such. So if there's something that it generated for you that you don't like, you need to tell it. You need to say, hey, agent, I appreciate what you did for me, but this is not what I was looking for. Please go back and do XYZ or ABC, and it'll do that for you. So again, it's incredible how this works. Lovable, Replit. There are other ones that I absolutely love. Abacus AI, Manus. There is Rocket.new. There's several that you can use, and they're all very user friendly for the most part. And so, again, I want you to get in here. I want you to start working on these things and then let me know what your results are. Okay. All right. So, after you've put it in, you have just built something that didn't exist an hour ago. So, even if you started to put something in, at least you have a shell of what it is that you want it to do. Okay. So once you've built something, I want you to run it. So I want you to see your creation come to life. Again, we talked about testing it. So you need to walk through the user experience. So once you launch it or publish it, you need to go through the site and do it yourself and make sure it operates and it functions the way that you desired for it to function. And then when you do see that it does, you're going to celebrate it. Now, if there's a situation or a circumstance or a scenario when it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, again, what you need to do is go back and tell it to fix the issue. All right. And that's what we do. So you are now a builder. You don't have to wait for tech teams, you ship. Okay. Now let's talk about the monetization lock-in. So don't let this become an abandoned project. Once you create it, once you have your minimal viable product, you want to make sure that you can sell it. As you can see here, if it creates clarity or saves time, it can be sold. So there are a couple paths in which you can do this. You can sell it directly. So maybe you sell it as a digital product or maybe a service add-on. So for instance, I create dashboards for my clients, and that's part of the services that we do when we do CFO work together. And these are interactive dashboards. It tells them everything that's happening in their business. It tells them how much money they have coming in, going out. It tells them how to save and prepare for things that they want that we've listed on their CEO goals. So, for instance, if they wanted to invest, we put money aside to invest. We make sure that they are able to save for their children, for college, for their own educational expenses and conferences and things of that nature. So, that is one of the things that I use artificial intelligence for in my business. I also help them to optimize their foundational processes and procedures within their business. There are a lot of disjointed processes and procedures and systems and software within everybody's business, or what we call their tech stack. So I work with them to create one centralized, synchronized system as well. So that's how I use this. That's how I would monetize this. So I want you to think about how you would monetize it for yourself. Okay. You want to make sure that you are describing how your value is going to be conveyed to your client or customer because your product has value. You'll just need to decide how to use that value. Okay, write this down. Who will you show this to? In the next 48 hours, I will show my product to XYZ, ABC. Shoot, I hope you show it to me. I hope you let me know that you built something and that you have something that's valuable and that's actionable and that's, tangible and that you can actually use. So I would love for you to show me what you built. Drop it in my LinkedIn account, send me a DM, whatever it is, but let me know because I love seeing what people build when they're vibe coding. Okay. So, why this matters? Momentum beats perfection. So, you want to keep going. Don't get stuck. It's okay if things don't make sense right away. Talk to the agent, it'll work it out. You literally see it thinking in real time. And you have a chat box when you can say, hey, I don't want to build this particular piece right now, but I do have questions. What is your recommendation on X, Y, and Z? Why do you think this is happening? What do you think would look better between, option A and option B? So you can talk to it like you talk to a person or like you would talk to your text team, not text, tech team. So your team of developers and coders and architects and all the things that you would probably spend $30 to $40,000 using if you were to build an app that would go on the app store. So I just need you to understand that. Okay, say this out loud. I am a builder because you are now a builder. You have built something that was not in existence 40 minutes ago. How many times can you say that? How many people can really say that they built something or they created something that is viable in less than an hour? You can. Congratulations. All right. So here's the thing, you don't have to wait for tech teams. You don't have to wait for permission and you don't have to wait for the right time. You ship. You build and you ship. And when we talk about shipping, we mean so we are launching it. You are putting it out to the world. You are saying, this is what I created. Here it is. Here I am. Come and check me out, all the things. And you are a builder. And if you want to, you could put this in the App Store as well. Using Replit, you have the ability to literally launch it inside of the software and then have it shipped into iOS store or the Google store. So as you start to really get good with this, you can do those things. You could start having recurring subscriptions and revenue in a week. So if I were you, I'd think about that, especially if you're looking for alternate ways and resources to make money. All right. All right, your transformation is complete. You now have a working AI powered product, a repeatable PRD framework you can use forever, proof that you can build without code, and a clear next action step within the next 48 hours. So you were supposed to tell somebody about what you built. You were supposed to show them what you learned. You were supposed to let me know what you built. And then you were supposed to continue building and refining your product because you want it to be A1, stellar, and ready to actually monetize. All righty. And here's your final page. So this was just the beginning. So again, I want you to continue refining your product, build your next idea using the same framework. And then I'd love for you to join me in my community of builders at school. This is Unapologetic Affluence 4878. I'd love to have you there. If you'd like to learn more, if you want to do more hands-on work, we'll actually be able to do hands-on work because we'll be able to see my screen inside of the school community. But I'd love to have you there. I'd love to teach you. I'd love to just learn what it is that you're looking to build and ladies and gents, I'm going to try this one more time because I am not a quitter. I cannot stand when things don't work the way they're supposed to work. So let me try this one more time. I got to share my screen, y'all. Really want you to see Lovable. I really, really do. For whatever reason, I just cannot get this thing working. Boo. Okay. You got me. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please drop them down below. Let me know what you want to discuss. Um, I'm going to do another session where you're able to see the actual Lovable screen. I'm going to walk through it and you will see it. I promise you it's going to be amazing. So stay tuned, stick with me, and I will see y'all next time. Again, stay tuned. I will send out an email or a notification when the build is up and we're actually able to see it. Thanks for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for being here, and I cannot wait to see you guys next time. If you want the slides, drop me a link as well. Or not a link, gracious y'all. Drop me a DM, send me a message, whatever, and let me know when I will send these slides to you. All righty? Talk soon.